Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So in this video I'm gonna talk about living things for the sake of Allah. So I know, for me at least, there are things that I could sacrifice for the sake of Allah. Like when I say I could, whatever that is bad for me. For you guys, we may have different things that we can sacrifice for the sake of Allah. For example, maybe for you, you're smoking or drinking or vaping or any other things that is considered as sin. Or even you may be listening to music. That could also be something that is putting you away from Allah. Although you may not realize that, but in Islam it's best for you to just like ignore those things for your own good. And another thing is, you may, for guys, right, you may actually love looking at girls. You are tempted and you want to see girls all the time. That is also something that you can, leave. You leave it for the sake of Allah. So when I say leave, what I'm truly saying is that remove it from your life. Do not be attached to those things. Do not make them your identity. Sometimes you may feel that this is who I am. I always do this. Like, it's normal. Society is doing this. My family members are doing this. My friends are doing this. No. You need to be accountable of your own life. And how to be accountable with your own life is by making your own decisions, not based on what people are thinking, what society is thinking. It's based on what you are thinking. And what you are thinking is supposed to be based on God. So you cannot have the life that you want if you don't sacrifice something. For example, I give you an analogy. You want to become fit and healthy, but you eat junk food all the time. You don't consume healthy food. You don't consume whole meal. You don't consume fruits, vegetables, and you expect your body to become fit. It may be possible, but you're unhealthy, literally. When you're eating junk food, although it's delicious for you, you enjoy eating junk food, it's unhealthy for you. So when it's unhealthy for you, it ruins you, whether you like it or not. You definitely like it. You like eating junk food, but it ruins you. On the outside, maybe you look fit because you exercise and you eat a lot. Maybe that's why you have enough nutrients to build your muscles. But on the inside, you may gain cholesterol. You may be more prone to diseases because you don't eat healthy food. So the point that I'm trying to say here is that be strict with yourself. Be disciplined. It's a simple ask, but we live in today's world where we are easily distracted. We are having like the goldfish attention span, where we keep scrolling and we keep on forgetting things. And I don't blame those short form videos, because those things are not really the main culprit. The main culprit is what you do in your life. And scrolling is part of it, but it is not it. Because for me, I tend to be more forgetful, not because of scrolling TikTok. Like, I realize that that's not the case. I become more forgetful when I am so stressed. It's beyond my capacity. Oh, I'm supposed to go right. Okay. It's beyond my capacity to bear with this situation, but I just bear with it. I bear with the situation, and it changes part of me. It's like when you're pulling a spring, you pull it so much that it deforms. It loses its ability to spring. That's me at the moment. So it's not about scrolling TikTok. Those little things, those are considered little, but in the long term, that could be the cause. But in the short term, think of short term, because those short term can be, really detrimental to your life. So one of the things that could be detrimental to your life is what you eat, because those are short term and also long term. But short term it is, like, especially when you're above 20s, 20, 30 years old, it will become even more serious. You should start taking care of your health even more when you're above your 30s. But when you're around your 20s, you should already start thinking about being healthy. You are what you eat, because you are literally like building based on what you eat. Your body is built by the blocks that you consume. So yeah, if you keep on eating unhealthy food, junk food, that will show. You won't look fit. A lot of people are unfit. A lot of people. And I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be unfit. It's a sacrifice. Again, like earlier on in this video, I mentioned about sacrifice things that is ruining you for the sake of God. And God wants you to become strong. God doesn't want you to become weak. The easiest way for you to become strong is by being disciplined. That is the easiest way. Being disciplined means that you do something regardless you feel like it or not. That is discipline. You have to show up at work. Yeah, in a way it's also the same, like consistent. But in general, discipline is a trait. Consistent is also a trait, but more to actions. So it starts from like what you eat, man. What you eat. So let's forget about what you eat, because like, yes, you can consume sugar, a lot of sugar in a day, you don't even realize, but it's actually a lot of sugar. Your body doesn't have this like metric way it can detect if you consume too much sugar, unless there will be signs where your skin may be inflamed. There will be inflammation, or you would experience some kind of health issues. But it could be a little bit too late. It's better that early on you can spot on. One of it is not just education but awareness. You should be aware of what you are eating. Don't just eat, although it's delicious. You should be mindful This doesn't just apply to what you eat, but what you do in your life. Everything. Be mindful. You are the captain of your life. But if you want to make your life easier, alright, you have a guide. It's God. Allah. Allah is your guide. So follow Him. Follow His path. You may mess up your life, but as long as you don't forget God, you don't make partners of God, you recognize that God is the Almighty, the ultimate provider, the enricher, the most loving, the most wise, the all-knowing. Recognize God with His 99 beautiful names, and that's when you start switching your mindset. Again, earlier on in this video I mentioned about sacrificing things for the sake of God. This is one of it. Your thoughts, your attention. Remove your attention from distraction. Whatever distraction that is taking over your brain. Like when you're doom scrolling, you're not thinking of anything, you just want to distract, have an escapist mindset where you are free from stress. Use that time to connect with God. Just like how you connect with Google or the internet, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, whoever. Replace that and spend more time with Allah. So like, always put your attention, put your awareness on Allah in whatever you're doing in your life. Whether what you're doing is something good or bad, try to always think of God. You need to have that kind of awareness at all times, and I'm not exaggerating it. It's best that you have this awareness at all times, because this is like something that you need. Just like oxygen, you need oxygen in order to live, and you need God in order to live the best life. And yeah, best doesn't mean having the life that is like so enjoyable that it may be good right now but bad later. It's like no, not that kind of life. But if you follow God, you would have the kind of life that will be fulfilling for you. Doesn't mean that you are free from sins. You would still sin, but again, with this kind of awareness, alright, with this kind of awareness, you are essentially recognizing what you're doing. Whether it's right or wrong, you are recognizing them. And this is what makes you totally a different human being. Because this is when you start taking over your life. You don't blame other people for it. This is contemplation 101, where you make your own decision. You think for yourself, for your future, for the people that you care, for your goals, for your dreams. This is the time. Contemplation is the time where you think of your reality, whether it's in the future or in the present. It is your reality, your destiny. You choose this path. Where you are right now, you choose it. Like me right now, I'm heading towards Imat, Watakawa. I want to buy fruits. It's a sacrifice for me because I could just go back and sleep, but I am sacrificing part of my time driving, at the same time making a video to contemplate while I'm driving. I don't just drive while listening to music. From time to time, I admit I listen to music, but I recognize that it is not good. It is a distraction, definitely, but it is not good. It's best to avoid it. And that is also why I'm making this video, because I'm reminding myself that those little things are hindering you from achieving your goals. Because what you need is focus, and you need all the attention. You need to remove all the distractions so that you get more attention. You can put more attention to working on something with more focus on, and that would help you achieve your goal. If you are distracted, you would never reach your goal. Never. There's no like wait until 100 years then you will achieve it. No, it's now or never. Like you heard it, it's now or never. If you are distracted right now listening to music or indulging in any kind of sins, you are wasting your time. You are prolonging your ultimate goal. It is harsh, but it's the reality. But again, I'm not saying that by doing so you will be a perfect human being. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that this is the path that we all should follow. And I'm not saying that avoid sins. We cannot avoid sins, but we can always, go back to the straight path. Doesn't matter if you are doing sins or not. So I'm talking to whoever that have done any kind of sins, whoever have not, doesn't matter. Actually, it's good that you indulge in some kind of sins, because we are imperfect human beings. We are imperfect. That's our nature. Okay? So nothing to be ashamed for that. Finally. Nothing to be ashamed for that. It's just that you need to keep reminding yourself. This video is part of it, but you need to do it yourself as well. Keep reminding yourself. That's why you pray 5 times a day, because in a day you remind yourself 5 times of what you should be doing. I think I'll go in front. 5 times. So that's why when you pray, you don't just pray for the sake of praying, but you connect to God. That is the purpose of prayer, which is to connect to God. You don't just pray to tick off the boxes. Oh no. But you pray to connect to God. People call it mindset, change your mindset. That is sort of true. But what it really is change your state of being. So it's similar to mindset. Similar to mindset, but whenever you hear about mindset, it's just like perspective, changes perspective, what you think of this. But it's actually your state of being, your emotions, it's not just perspective, because it's such a shallow word to describe this powerful feeling. It's your impression, it's your emotion. Why is that car going the opposite direction? State of being, man. State of being. So you need not just mindset, but everything about you. Everything that you know of God, change it. Let's say you may feel like you are attached to a specific scene. For example, listening to music. You can't stop listening to music because you love listening to music. But if you just change that, not mindset, but your emotion, your feeling, you let Allah decide. Don't let yourself decide, because you may enjoy it, just like what Allah said. You may enjoy it, you may like something, but it's bad for you. But you may not like something, but it's good for you. So this is the something that is not good for you, which is leaving the thing that you love, right? It's not good. It's not a good feeling to leave the things that you love. But doing it for the sake of Allah, that is actually the best thing that you could do. You leave things for the sake of Allah. For example, you are a playboy. You are with a lot of girls, but now you want to change. You want to, get halal. So go back to the straight path. Seek marriage. Become a better human being, a better man, father. But with the prior knowledge that you have, experience, use that as a benefit for your future. Just like a lot of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, they were disbelievers, but they became believers, and they used their power for greater influence. So you should do that too. You should. I'm not saying that, okay, I'm sinful, therefore I should hide. No. Nowadays, a lot of people who are sinful, they don't hide. A lot of people who are they have knowledge, they hide. So I get it that in this world, the strong people are those who are actually they don't mind showing their weaknesses. Although it's actually strength in front of people, like they can do this, they're such a playboy, they can do whatever, but it's actually a weakness. But they don't mind showing it, they feel proud of it. But regardless, you should use that same energy for greater good. So let's say, leaving music for the sake of Allah. Alright, you love listening to music. Every day you listen to music. Every day, okay? Or every time you're free, you listen to music. Why not this time you delete any music platform? Maybe you don't want to delete the account, but delete the app at least. Okay? Just have YouTube. Don't have the YouTube Music or Spotify or Apple Music. Delete those, because those things are more catering towards music, right? Although they are podcasts, but yeah, just remove them. Use YouTube or some simple platforms. Avoid yourself from listening to music, and you will find yourself that your brain would naturally, your brain would be bored, and your brain would find other alternatives. If I can't listen to music, what can I do? Watch videos, listen to videos, podcast. Your brain would do the job. Although at first you may think that, I can't leave this, I can't leave listening to music. I enjoy it, it's nice, it gives me this amplified emotion, gives me the strength to do whatever. No, just delete it. Delete it for the sake of Allah. Not for the sake of me, but for the sake of Allah. Because Allah, you recognize that. Do you recognize that Allah is the most wise, the all-knowing? He said that music is not good. Music is haram. Although like there's no like explicit, like verse saying that, but in Islam it is perceived as like that. Like music is haram because it puts you away from Allah. Except music that is bringing you close to Allah. But I don't want you to justify something that is considered as haram to make it halal, because we should avoid that. We should avoid that. Okay. So yeah. And then you recognize that you are doing this for the sake of Allah, not just because what I say, but you have to think for yourself. Again, contemplate. Think that you do this because Allah knows more than what you know. Like it's like you trust the same way how you trust a doctor when doctor is giving you a prescription. You trust the doctor, right? That's the same way how you trust Allah. Exactly. If not, you should trust Allah even more. Allah says, don't do this. So listen. This time you listen. Although last time you don't listen. Like Prophet Adam and Hawa, right? Adam and Eve. Like there was one time when they got tempted by the devil, but they still go back to God. So you should go back to God. Doesn't mean that you're already so deep into sin you don't go back to God. No, you should at all times. God accepts everyone. God accepts everyone. So you remove the sin, such as like that music. You recognize that Allah knows best. This is good for you, although you enjoy listening to music, but Allah knows best. And after you recognize, you trust the process. Have tawakal that okay, I'm doing this for the sake of Allah. I trust something greater is coming. Have tawakal and love Allah, that this is what I'm doing for Allah. Allah knows best. I'm doing what Allah is telling me to do. Although Allah doesn't tell me directly, but I feel like this is something that is, like I feel different after I remove this. I feel better. Although at the time of listening to music, you could feel like better already, but once you remove it, it's a different feeling. It's a healthy kind of better. That's the only way I can describe it. It's a healthier kind of better. It's like maybe I never drank alcohol, but let's say you drank alcohol, you may feel good at that time. I don't know, but maybe that is the case. But after that, you feel bad. Same goes to too much sugar. You enjoy drinking sugar. After that, what happens? Like your energy drops. I forgot the term. Crash, sugar crash. But this thing, living things for the sake of Allah, it is something that is healthy. How to know it is healthy? At first, it is difficult, but it gets easier. That is the only way for you to gauge if something is good or not. If it's difficult right now and it gets better, that is good. In general, not everything. So yeah. So it's difficult, in your 20s, it's going to be difficult. Your life is going to be difficult, but you should make sacrifices this time. Don't be comfortable with your life. And then it gets easier. Get used to this difficult life, and your life gets better. It's not easier, but it seems easier, but you actually get better. Again, you need focus with this. You cannot be distracted. If you are distracted with music, with social media, you spend too much time scrolling social media, you are not focused on your goals. Your brain is all over the place. It's like, for example, if you're in the gym, right? Your plan is to focus on your forearms, but after one pump, you focus on your chest, then your leg. You're not making progress, although you feel like you're making a lot of progress by focusing on a lot of areas, but you're not actually making any progress. So you need focus. One analogy that I love about focus is that think of a magnifier and a piece of paper and a sunlight and a piece of paper. It doesn't do anything. It's like very unlikely for the piece of paper to burn. But once you have a magnifying glass and focus the sun ray on that piece of paper at the right focus, within a second that paper would burn. You cannot achieve that kind of effect if you don't focus. No matter how long you spend, no matter like how hot the sun is, it's not as hot as when there's a magnifying glass. So you need that kind of focus. It is difficult, but it helps. At least like it helps in getting started with whatever that you're doing. You want to have a better life. This is the focus that you need. You cannot wait for 20 more years, then you change. You should change now. And you may feel comfortable right now, and you don't know if you can ever change because you feel like if I change, I'm ruining something. You still can if you're in your early 20s. Sacrifice part of your life. If you have a lot of things, give things away, help more people. Take a risk. This is the time when you should take risk. If you want more risky, take a risk. It's not gambling, although it seems like it's gambling, right? Because you are dealing with uncertainty. But it's actually like awareness, exposure. You are learning more things. It's not gambling, but it's growth. Again, like it's a different, I wouldn't say mindset, but maybe this is the mindset. It's growth. Think of growth. You don't want to stay in one place just because you feel comfortable and because you think this is going to sustain you for the rest of your life. No. You need to learn a lot of things. You can always go back to where you were, although you may think at this time that it's impossible. No, you can. But you probably wouldn't, even if you could, because if you have more exposure to things, that is more valuable than you just sticking to one thing. So yeah, I think that's it. Nothing much more to say. Just like leave things for the sake of Allah. Like, be honest with yourself throughout the day. If you just like how you can check your screen time on your smartphone, you should ask yourself, how long, what's the duration of me like connecting to Allah, like actually putting attention, Like while you're doing your work, are you thinking of Allah? Like actively, are you thinking of Allah? Not just thinking of Allah, but thinking of His beautiful attributes. He's the all-hearing. He's the healer. Allah is the fixer, the restorer, the responsive. So yeah, Allah is Al-Wali. So yeah, it's like your amigo. Be like friends with Allah. Be friends with Allah. You may feel lonely, you may have these negative thoughts, but be friend with Allah, man. This is the secret of getting whatever you want in your life. Because this is the thing, the connection is important. If you want to become rich, you connect with rich people, you network with rich people. If you want to get whatever you want in your life, you connect to Allah. And not just connect, but that's why people say those who pray are successful. It's not just that, but it's the connection. It's not about the act of praying, but it's the connection. You're building connection with Allah, just like how you're building connection with people around you. The stronger the connection you have with Allah, the more chances, the more likely that you're going to achieve whatever you want. Your du'as to be answered. It sounds like simple, right? Like, I just think of Allah and I get whatever I want. I want to get supercars, I want to marry the love of my life, I want to marry with multiple spouses, although it's unlikely for me, but anything is possible with Allah, as long as it's, within the rules of Islam, wherever it is halal. Think of Allah, build connection with Allah, and you will start recognizing Allah. Then you would trust Allah because you have built this connection. You trust Allah. You are driving the vehicle towards the destination, but you trust Allah to the point that more or less like you're setting it on autopilot, but you're still taking over the steering. You still choose where you want to go, but Allah is leading you towards that destination. If it's good, if it's not good, Allah will redirect you to somewhere better. So the first thing is you recognize Allah, His beautiful traits. Then second thing is you trust Allah. This is the next layer. Don't just recognize Allah, you trust Allah. You actually don't 100% think of you as in making decisions. It is Allah, and you trust Allah. Allah is the greatest, don't you think? So it's not you. You are not the greatest. So whatever you do it for the sake of Allah. This is the level of trust that you need. You are serving Allah. And thirdly, love Allah. You're doing it not because you're forced to, but actually you love doing it. You do it because you love Allah. There may be things that you don't like. This doesn't apply to anything, but it's anything related to growth, it is good. There may be things that you feel uncomfortable, that you don't want, but you do it regardless. It could also be sin, but that is a different topic. Like doing something that what Allah loves when He sees you do it. That is what you should be doing, man. So what I'm doing right now is making a video. I'm giving benefit, inshallah. and hopefully this is something that is beneficial, and this is something that is probably what Allah loves from me, by sharing my ideas, my contemplation with you guys, giving reminders, positive reminders, sharing the message of Allah, such as like there may be things that you don't like but it's good for you, there may be things that you like but it's not good for you. So yeah, that would be the title of this video. Sacrifice, it's not easy, but if you recognize Allah, you trust Allah, you love Allah, you do it, Allah will not make you sad. Allah will never let you down if you recognize Allah, if you trust Allah, and if you love Allah. Okay, so I think that's it. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.